This video is sponsored by BigMarleyMMA.com. Kyle Marley is up over 250 units in the last 2+ years on his premium bets. Go to BigMarleyMMA.com and use the coupon code PROSPICKS at checkout. That will get you 10% off his weekly packages.
That's a good matchup. That's a really, really interesting fight. I'm curious to see how. I think Frankie probably should have been a bantamweight his whole career. The fact that he even went like with Benson two title fights in a row. He lost, but they're close fights, and he's an animal. So I'm super curious how he's going to do at bantamweight. I think Frankie will probably get the job.
That's a good one. I'm leaning towards Pedro. I like Frankie a lot, but I think the youth of Pedro and the power, he's willing to sit down and take one. And if you shoot in on him, and I know Frankie's going to be looking to shoot in, but Frankie's going to try to do that patented knee tap to probably get him down. But Munoz has got a pretty good uppercut that he sneaks in there. And he's got a pretty big right hand and left hook and those front kicks to the body that he throws in the calf kick. So he hasn't fought since we fought either. So this is a fascinating fight for him as well. But if I'm leaning towards the side of Pedro. I think he's got good boxing, and I think the kicks is what makes things different, where Frankie doesn't seem to kick that much. I know he moves a lot, but Pedro's just like the Terminator. He just walks you down. It's the most annoying thing when someone just won't stop. No matter how much you hit them, they just, okay, boom, boom, they take it and they walk back for it. So I think that's going to be the difference. And if Frankie gets too overzealous and maybe he gets 1 or 2 takedowns, but the third one, I could see him probably getting choked. So it's going to be an interesting fight. No one, Frankie doesn't really get finished like that. So it's a good fight. I like this matchup, but I'm leaning towards the side of the natural bantamweight who's been here for a while, and Pedro Munoz.
Frankie's first time at 35. I think he's extra dialed in and think he gets the job done.
I go with Pedro. I'm cool with him. I like him. Actually, we get offered to fight each other. We say we won't do it for nothing, for a piece of cake. If we both are like in the top 5 and then, the winner get a title shot or big money, then we decide to fight. But I got him in that fight. And actually, when Pedro test positive, I called Frankie. I was like, Frankie is a big fight. Why not? But then they make that a main event, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, that's a really good question too. That's I think a really evenly matched fight. I think Munoz has a nasty guillotine, and he doesn't mind wrestling with people, and he has good takedown defense. And Frankie's the opposite. Frankie has really good takedown defense. I would say that Munoz's biggest problem is that he's not the most defensive-minded guy as far when in his striking. So I think Frankie will be able to mix it up enough to probably hit him enough times to either hurt him or outpoint him for sure.
I'll go Munoz. I think he got the power. I know Edgar's got the jaw of all jaws, but he is getting older. He is getting a little slower. And Pedro's got heavy hands. He's got some heavy hands for bantamweights. I think I'm gonna go with him.
Always been a huge Frankie Edgar fan. One of my best fights, one of my favorite fights is UFC 67, Frankie Edgar, when he made his debut against Tyson Griffin. And since then, been a fan. The best fight ever, I got Frankie Edgar.
It's really hard to predict the lower weight classes. I don't know why. Like, I always suck at predicting them. I don't, because when it comes to the lower weight classes, they're good everywhere. Like, there's never, like, in welterweight, you can see it all. This dude's really good at wrestling or really good at striking, but the lower weight classes, they're all good at everything. So I want Pedro to win just because, I like new blood. Frankie's a legend, but, time for the new blood to come up and make a name for themselves,
I feel like Edgar's going to win unless his chin really is going and Munoz, tags him, then it might be time for him to consider hanging it up, because we've seen with other fighters, you start taking shots like that, all of a sudden a strong breeze is putting you on your butt. It's time to hang him up.
Pedro Munoz, I think he'll finish him actually, either knockout, and I could actually see him submitting him. Pedro's one of my favorite fighters as well. He's got a sick guillotine, and Frankie, he's been knocked out a couple times now, and that weight cut, first time fighting a guy like Pedro Munoz who's made that weight a bunch, I think that Pedro will get the win by finish.
Gotta go with Frankie. Love Frankie. I spoke to him not that long ago. Great guy. One of the reasons I'm fighting today, I think down at 35, he's gonna make another run. The 50th run he's made. Guy's a fucking legend. Excuse my language. But, yeah.
Frankie Edgar is one of my all-time favorite fighters ever, period, and I hope he gets that win. I don't care. Even if the odds were stacked against him, I don't care. I love Frankie Edgar. You can never count him out. That guy's got too much heart.
I'd have to go with Edgar, you know. Just, you know, I feel like he doesn't cut that much weight. We're gonna see, you know, Frankie Edgar's gonna be more on a average size for this for the bantamweight division, and he was a lightweight champion. He's fighting for the title at featherweights. He's a legend of the sport, and I feel like he's just his movement, and if he implements his takedowns with his striking, I just feel like he's gonna you know, get the better of Munoz. Even though Munoz, you know, he could end the fight with a submission or catch him with his heavy hands, but I would have to go with Edgar.
Man, it's always hard to root against Frankie Edgar, but this is a tough one because it's also his first fight at bantamweight as well, and I'm not sure how that's going to affect him. So for that, I might have to go with Pedro.
I got to go with Munoz. Got to go with my dog Munoz.
Ooh, that's a tough fight, but I mean, I think that I'm going to lean towards Munoz. I think that Edgar is definitely, you can see a little decline, you know, and he's not moving as good as he once was, but with him moving down, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's interesting to see what it'll look like, you know, down the weight class.
That's an awesome fight too, but I gotta go with Frankie. I think Frankie at 135 is gonna be reinvigorated.
Jeez, I don't know, man. I really like Frankie Edgar, and he's a real durable, like, technical guy, but I think Pedro might be too much for him, man. I think Pedro's gonna be like a wild chupacabra in there and just murder him, man. Like, I hate to say that about Frankie because he's such a tough dude, and he's been finished, what, 1 or 2 times tops? Like, man, I'm going to go Pedro Munoz on that one. I'm going to go Pedro.
I feel like Frankie Edgar's speed can beat him, but I feel like Pedro Munoz will like to bang and take your neck off too. So I feel like, I don't know though. I'll go with the vet. I'll go with Frankie Edgar for me.
Thanks for watching this video sponsored by BigMarleyMMA.com. Kyle Marley is up over 250 units in the last 2+ years on his premium bets. Go to BigMarleyMMA.com and use the coupon code PROSPICS at checkout. That will get you 10% off his weekly packages.